by the complete conflict of rivalry among the individual firms. Okay, it is known about the perfect competition. Here is some key attributes of perfect competition. That is, first one, every seller takes the market price. Every seller takes the market price and the price of his own product. Price of his own product. Second one, sellers are the capable of influencing the market price either by acting single or in a group. Either by acting single or in a group. Last one, sellers earn only normal profit in the long run, not short run, long run. Sellers earn only normal profits in the long run. These are the key attributes of perfect competition. Here is a different forms of markets. As for the criteria, the different forms of markets are, here is a models of competition. First one, perfect competition. Perfect competition, here is a number of buyers very large. Number of buyers very large. Number of sellers very large. Number of sellers also very large. Nature of product. Here is the nature of product, homogeneous. Homogeneous means
Same, similar.
similar. Right. Okay. And next, barriers to entry and exit. No, or none. And next model of competition, monopoly. In this monopoly, number of buyers very large, and number of sellers only one. Only one. And in perfect competition, number of sellers very large.
Very large.
In monopoly, only one. Only one. Number of sellers only one.
Only one.
Nature of product, only single product only. Right? Here is the barriers, entry and exit. Only exit. Exit. Exit only. And the next model of competition, monopolistic competition. In monopolistic competition, number of buyers very large. And number of sellers relatively large number. Relatively large number. And nature of product in monopolistic competition, differentiation are close substitutes. Close substitutes. And barriers to entry and exist, none. Okay. Here is the next model of competition, oligopoly. Oligopoly. Oligopoly, number of buyers very large. Number of buyers
Very large.
number of sellers very few.
Few.
Number of sellers
Very
few. Okay. In perfect competition, number of sellers very large. Here is the oligopoly. Number of sellers very few. Nature of product, there is large differences. Nature of product, very large differences. And barriers to entry and exist, only exist now. And next one, model of competition, duopoly. In duopoly, number of buyers very large. Number of buyers very large. And number of sellers only two. Only two sellers. Okay, two sellers only. Nature of product here is a homogeneous or heterogeneous. And buyers to entry and exist only. Models of competition. In models of competition, okay, in monopoly. In monopoly, number of buyers only one. And number of sellers very large. Here is a nature of product differentiated, and bias to entry and exist none. These are the different forms of markets. Different forms of market. Next one, features of perfect competition. Features of perfect competition. Here is a first one, large number of buyers and sellers. Large number of buyers and sellers. There will be a large number of buyers and sellers existed in the market. Any single firm in the industry cannot influence the price of commodity. They are price takers, but not a price makers. They are price takers, but not a price makers. Okay, it is like a drop of water. It is like a drop of water put into sea, which will not influence the sea level. Which will not influence the sea level. So the price of the product is determined by the collective forces of industry demand and supply. Industry demand and supply. So it can be said that a firm under perfect competition is only a price taker and output adjuster. Under perfect competition is only price taker and output adjuster. Okay, this is about the large number of buyers and sellers. Next one, homogeneous product. Homogeneous product. Generally, commodities produced by all firms are homogeneous in all respects. Homogeneous in all respects, which imply that there is no change in terms of quality, size, and fragrance in technical and imaginary sense. There is no change in terms of quality, size, and fragrance in technical and imaginary sense. So, no firm influence price either increase or decrease product in the market. No firm influence price either increase or decrease product in the market. Here is the homogeneous product. One figure is the assumptions of large number of sellers and of product homogeneity imply that the individual firm in pure competition is a price taker. Its demand curve is, here is the demand curve is infinitely elastic, indicating that the firm can sell any amount of output at the prevailing price as shown in figure. The demand curve of the individual firm is also its average revenue and its marginal revenue curve. It is about the homogeneous product. Next one, free entry and exit. In perfect competition, there are no barriers or restrictions to enter or exit from the industry. Firms have freedom of movement in and out of the industry. So, if the firms in the industry are incurring losses, some of them will leave the industry, which will reduce the supply of the industry. So, hence, firms have full liberty to choose either to continue or go out of the industry. So this assumption is supplementary to be assumption of large numbers. So it is about the free entry and exit. In perfect competition, next one, perfect knowledge. Perfect knowledge. Perfect knowledge is also assumed that all sellers and buyers have complete knowledge. Okay, it is also assumed that all sellers and buyers have complete knowledge of the conditions of the market. So this knowledge refers to, and a perfect knowledge refers not only to the prevailing conditions in the current period, but in all future periods as well. So under these conditions, uncertainty about future developments in the market is ruled out. Next one, perfect mobility of factors of production. The factors of production are free to move. The factors of production are free to move from one firm to another firm throughout the economy. It is also assumed that workers can move between different jobs, and raw materials and other factors are not monopolized, and labor is also not unionized. Okay. Next one, absence of government regulation. There is no government intervention in the form of tariffs, subsidies, rationing of production or demand, and so on. There is no government intervention. In perfect competition, there is no government intervention. Okay. Next, absence of transport cost. Absence of transport cost. In perfect competition, it is assumed that there is no transport cost. There is no transport cost. So these are features of perfect competition. One is a large number of buyers and sellers. Second one is a homogeneous product. Third one is a free entry and exit. Fourth one is a perfect knowledge. Fifth one is a perfect mobility of factors of production. Sixth one is the absence of government regulation. Seventh one is the absence of transport cost. These are the features of perfect competition. Next one, price and output determination in perfect competition. There was a dispute among earlier economists who came before Marshall as to whether it is supply of a good or the demand further determines its price. Here is a Marshall linked the price determination to the cutting a piece of a paper, whether it is the upper or the under blade of a pair of scissors that cuts a piece of a paper by a pair of scissors. Neither the upper blade nor the lower one taken individually can cut the paper. So both are required to do the work of cutting. Similarly, both demand and supply are essential forces for determining the price of goods. The price of goods. Here is the the price at which quantity demanded equals quantity supplied is called equilibrium price. The price at which quantity demanded equals quantity supplied is called equilibrium price. For at this price, the two forces of demand and supply exactly balance each other. Exactly balance each other. The quantity of the good which is purchased and sold at this equilibrium price is called equilibrium amount. So, intersection of demand and supply curves determines the price quantity equilibrium. Quantity equilibrium. So, here is a equilibrium between the demand and supply. Here is a one table. The price of commodity, it can be seen from the table. No, here is the price of commodity from 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and quantity demanded in units. When the price of commodity 5, the quantity of demanded is 12 units and quantity of supply 1 unit only. And when the price of commodity 10, the quantity demanded is 10. Quantity supplied 2. When the price of commodity 15, the quantity demanded 8. Quantity supplied 4. When the price of commodity 20, the quantity demanded 6. Quantity supplied 6 only. When the price of commodity 25, quantity demanded 4. Quantity supplied 8. And price of commodity 30, the quantity demanded 2 and quantity supplied 30. So the sellers would not be able to sell the whole quantity they want to supply and would therefore complete with each other to sell the extra quantity by writing down the price. In this way, the price will go on falling until the equilibrium level of 20 is reached, where the quantity which the buyers would demand equals the quantity which the sellers would be prepared to sell. So this phenomenon is known as excess supply. Excess supply. So the equilibrium between demand and supply is, here is a one figure is there now. In OX axis quantity, in OY axis price. The demand here is the in figure, demand and supply are in equilibrium at a point E, where two curves intersect each other. Demand and supply are in equilibrium at a point E, where two curves intersect each other. So this implies that only at price OP price, the quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied.
Sir,
This
we are not understanding, sir.
you are not understanding. Here is the figure. So yeah,
సార్ మీరు
here
బుక్ లో చూస్తూ చదువుతున్నారు సార్, మాకేం అర్థం కావట్లేదు అసలు. జస్ట్
ఓకే అమ్మా
ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ఆ యొక్క ప్యాటర్న్ ఒకటి మీకు నాకు ఒకసారి ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తే అర్థం అవుతుంది కదా సార్. మీరు జస్ట్ చదువుకుంటూ వెళ్ళిపోతున్నారు. మేము ఆ మాత్రం కూడా చదువుకోలేమా సార్?
సరే
అసలు అర్థం కావట్లేదు సార్ మాకు.
ఓకే అమ్మా చూస్తా నేను. అంటే జస్ట్ మీకు అంటే కాన్సెప్ట్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తానమ్మా. మరి కాన్సెప్ట్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాను. ఏంటంటే ఇక్కడ అన్ని ఫిగర్స్ ఉంటాయమ్మా. ఈ ఫిగర్స్ తోని ఇక్కడ మనకి ఏంటంటే మనకి స్లైడ్ రాదు. మనకి స్లైడ్ ఇక్కడ అందుబాటులో ఉండదు. సో ఏంటంటే డైరెక్ట్ మనకి ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ తప్ప ఇక్కడ స్లైడ్ ఇక్కడ మీకు చూపించి ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేసే అంత ఇక్కడ మనకి అవకాశం లేదు. సో మిగతా చూద్దామమ్మా. ఓకే, షార్ట్ రన్ ఈక్విలిబ్రియం ఆఫ్ ద ఫర్మ్. లేకపోతే మనం ఇంపార్టెంట్ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేసుకుంటే సరిపోతుందమ్మా మిగతా.
ఓకే సార్.
Short term equilibrium of the firm. In short term equilibrium of firm, the price determined by the industry. The price determined by the industry. Industry demand and industry supply. The price determined by the industry demand and industry supply given in the individual firm. Given in the individual firm. In short run is period of time within which the firms can alter their level of output only by increasing or decreasing the amounts of variable factors such as labor and raw material. Here is the short run equilibrium of the firm. One is the equilibrium of firm with TR. TR means total revenue, and TC means total cost curves approach. The firm is in equilibrium when it maximizes its profits and defined as the difference between total cost and total revenue. Here is the equilibrium of firms with TR minus TC. TR total revenue minus total cost. ఇందులో ఏంటంటే అన్ని అంటే మనకి ఫిగర్స్ ఉంటాయమ్మా. ఈ ఫిగర్స్ అంటే కొంత మీకు డైరెక్ట్ ఏమన్నా పీపీటీ ద్వారా అయితే ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయడానికి ఈజీగా ఉంటుంది. ఇట్లా మీకు డైరెక్ట్ అంటే ఇక్కడ ఫిగర్ లేకుండా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయడం కొంచెం అంటే మీరు చూసుకోండి, బుక్స్ రెఫర్ చేయండి, చేస్తే మీకు అండర్స్టాండింగ్ అవుతుంది, అర్థమవుతుంది. ఇక్కడ అంటే మనకి ఒక ఇందులో ఫిగర్ ఇవ్వడం జరిగింది. ఇక్కడ ద ఫిగర్ shows the total revenue and total cost curves of a firm in a perfect competitive market. The total revenue and total cost curves of a firm in a perfect competition market. The total revenue curve is a straight line through the origin. The total revenue curve is straight line through the origin, showing that the price is constant at all levels of output. The price is constant at all levels of output. The firm is price taker and can sell any amount of output at the going market price. At the going market price with the with its total revenue increasing proportionality with its sales. Here is the slope of the total revenue curve is the marginal revenue. Marginal revenue. So in pure competition, MR marginal revenue equal to AR means average revenue. Average revenue equal to price. Equal to price. Next one, profit maximizing conditions. Profit maximizing conditions. Under perfect competition, marginal revenue curve is horizontal straight line. Horizontal means hello.
Yes, sir.
So here is a MC means marginal cost. MR means marginal revenue equal to price. Marginal cost equal to marginal revenue equal to price. And marginal curve must be rising at the point of equilibrium. Marginal curve, marginal cost curve must be rising at the point of equilibrium. Equilibrium. So, if marginal curve, marginal cost and marginal revenue is the total profit has not been maximized and it pays the firm to expand its output. If marginal cost greater than marginal revenue is the level of total profits is being reduced and it pays the firm to cut its production. Marginal cost equal to marginal revenue is the short run profits are maximized. Marginal cost equal to marginal revenue is the short run profits are maximized. So therefore the first condition for the equilibrium of the firm is that marginal cost be equal to marginal revenue. Yeah. Short run equilibrium of the industry. In perfect competition, short run equilibrium of the industry. The market demand and the market supply. The industry is in equilibrium at that price which clears the market, which that is at the price at which the quantity demanded is equal to the quantity supplied. In figure, here is the short run industry equilibrium first in figure 1 and figure 2 short run equilibrium of firm excess profits. In figure 3 short run equilibrium of a firm and losses. And next one long run equilibrium. Here in the long run it is possible to make more adjustments in the long run, it is possible to make more adjustments than in the short run. The firm can adjust its plant capacity and scale of operations. Plant capacity and scale of operations to the changed circumstances. Therefore, all costs are variable. All costs are variable. Firms must earn only normal profits. In the case of, here is in the case of price is the long run. AC means average cost curve. Firms will be earning super normal profits. Supernormal profit. So in the long run, firms are in equilibrium when they have adjusted their plant. So as to produce at the minimum profit, minimum point of their long run average cost curve, which is tangent means at this point to the demand. Average revenue curve defined by the market price so that they earn normal profits. Next one. So it can be concluded that competition implies rivalry between sellers, price cutting and advertising are perceived as hallmarks of competitive markets. And perfect competition is a market where there is a large number of producers producing a homogeneous product. So the price of the product is determined by industry. The price of the product is determined by the industry. The price at which quantity demanded equals quantity supplied is called equilibrium price. For at this price, the two forces of demand and supply exactly because each other. So the quantity of demand, the quantity of good which is purchased and sold at the equilibrium price is called equilibrium amount. So the intersection of demand and supply curves determines the price quantity equilibrium. So under this perfect competition, marginal revenue curve is horizontal straight line. The marginal cost curve must be rising so as to cut the marginal revenue curve from. So therefore, the twin conditions of firm's equilibrium under perfect competition are marginal curve equal to marginal revenue equal to price, and marginal curve must be rising at the point of equilibrium.